At first, I told myself I was overthinking. At what point is there too much thought? And why are we so self-critical when we reach it? I was out for a walk with my camera, stopping to photograph a new landscape when the thinking started. What was I looking for? What did a good image look like? What did I find compelling about particular angles or views? And should I not be thinking about those biases a bit more? Overthinking, I decided. I told myself off, but the thoughts persisted. What was I using the camera for? When I adjusted the aperture, why did I choose to stop at a certain point? How do you reconcile a visually impaired identity with the act of photography? I don't know how those questions will appear to you. Maybe as obvious ones, maybe as ridiculous ones, maybe as overthinking. But visual impairment complicates things. Photography is a way of seeing. If you're consistently told that you're not good at something, you will inevitably come to stop trying a little, leave the work of that to other people. If those around you are always looking at something further away, smaller, more detailed, and describing to you what you're missing, then you will believe them. Edwin Morgan's instamatic poetry is written about photographs taken in locations as varied as Chicago, Renfrewshire, Venice, Nigeria, and translunar space. On one page of the collection, the evidence of a teenage murder waits to be swept away on Glasgow's Argyle Street. On another, news reaches God of an updated version of his own prayer while he reclines in heaven. Morgan toys with the supposed veracity of photographs. He could have told these as fictional tales and framed them as such. But instead, at least from my perspective, he pokes fun at the trust we place in sight. He acknowledges that this sense has the capacity for something other than fact. The title of this exhibition comes from another series of his work, the news poems. Morgan would cut shapes into newspaper articles to find the other stories hidden inside them. He was a master of multitudes, of ideas that were intricate, enormous, and complicated. When I say that visual impairment complicates things, a sighted mind might jump to practicalities, the navigation of a new space, the reading of small print. But it's society that complicates those acts for the visually impaired. What I mean is that this way of seeing has the power to trouble concepts that many would assume solid: beauty, colour, trust, image, truth. I hope this exhibition floats in these muddied waters. I hope that Edwin Morgan's trademark formal playfulness is recognisable in the spaces where poetry and image converse with each other. And I hope that even if you think you have seen it, you might realise that you haven't. So there's a big glass window open to the street where people can look in. And at the moment we have some reproduced prints from the exhibition in the window. We have a poster for the exhibition. We have the title of it on the window along with the QR code that people can scan to access the audio for the exhibition. So when you come in through the front door, you come into the bookshop part of the gallery, which has a lot of books and prints and images taken by different photographers. And also the exhibition begins in here with two of the two first images up on the wall, high up on the wall. After those first two images, walk down, there's a kind of wee narrow hall here with a mirror on one side. And then we've got the next exhibition print on one side of the wall, and then further up as you get to the end of the corridor, there's another print on the left-hand side. And then a few steps up into the main gallery space. It is got very high ceilings. It's very much the feeling of an Edinburgh flat. It's got that kind of traditional city feeling about it. Has a big bright window which brings a lot of light into the room. And there are 4 panels on the walls. It's quite an oddly shaped room, so they're all different sizes of panel, but on each panel there are 4 more prints from the exhibition.
Sight might be a con, by the way. I've known this for a while now, ever since I looked between the end of someone's finger and the start of the sky, and I built the boat they described to me out of rock and underside of wave. It's a theory that proves itself quietly, relentlessly. Once, waiting for a friend on a street corner, I believed his face onto every approaching body until Glasgow was his own garish parade. Once I found a lost thing that had a whole room on its tail, because people who are supposedly good at seeing are laughably bad at looking. I keep a list of things that only I have seen. A priest in the wood, a skull in the snow, a beach above the fireplace, a mirror in the empty. Once someone showed me an optical illusion, and there was false ceremony in that title. We mishear easily. We acknowledge that chefs might recognize subtleties of flavour that some palates couldn't name. We know that the question of "what's that smell?" will always throw up competing answers, even among those with a fully functioning sense. And yet, magic or deception must be at play when it comes to sight. I'm always apologising for the mistakes that my eyes make. All this accepting blame and folding myself up so as not to loosen the earth under the shoes of those who call their view of things correct and mine something lesser. I believe there are different ways of seeing. Who's to say which of them, if any, reflect the truth? Norwich, November 2021. Half the image is sky. It's only a threat if you don't know each other. A dog with a past. Buy into its blackening if you like, but look top left. Rosy hangers-on blush over the last bold few holding hands at the beach. Not pictured. Evening means the city is mostly windows. Front rooms unknowingly compete. The photo is all middle distance to match the mood of Christmas arriving from the right-hand side. Fairy lights choke the grey from council buildings, and I promise I'm not the only one with nowhere to go. Shame I couldn't coax my lens to catch all the others peering up. listening in. The Hersal Estate. The grass is always greener. March 2022. A house. Hardly there, but propping up the sky. Broad-shouldered. Like, have you ever met someone who's been told that they're important? Trees between us and it, on the land my family worked, as the day got at their fingers. NB. Apologies to those who view this image over green. I have always given your world plenty credit for that colour, with all its meanings. Look at the health I've pictured for you. Tell me, do your summer selves lie back on cartoon grass? Really? Or have I let my estimate stretch? I've always thought it must be some magic that I'm missing. If I were a cliché, I wouldn't bother dressing as anything else. Inside, outside. April 2023. At the ankles of the picnic bench, like a sibling, the grass wants cut. The boiler slows its breathing. Cats from 2 homes find a new fight to have. Spices are alphabetical now, and the walls are giving up. Someone has framed the beach. A bedsheet hangs on a washing line. Optimism rewarded. Oslo, December 2022. I am in a city neater than mine, and I have clothes for the weather. There are parks to cut through and colour on the brick. Coffee comes sleek. My backpack is light, and I am sadder than I should be. I buy something small for home. The lights hang warm and low. Helsingborg, May 2022. If you're looking for something, start behind the backpack. A friend readies for a photo. All of her, bar one eye shut, will take it. If you can't find her, there's an arrow of white paint that draws to her elbows. If you can't find the arrow, it's breaking the surface of a brick wall. If it weren't for all we know about paint and brick, the arrow might be headed for her. Warish. If you can't find the wall, it was built to split the city from its sea. So look for its flat palm to the water's nose. A firm no. If you can't find the water, maybe that's because it's more light than liquid. Despite jackets, that day the sun burned big and got itself everywhere. A burst bag of glitter. Northumberland, July 2022. Or June. or the last time skies got enough night, or the summer before that, or 2 weeks north of it, or south of the coast, or somewhere circular like a churchyard or scrap heap, or in between your most usual motorway exits, or a hill, a house, a tree, or a film set that never saw fuss grow good, or an animal unbuttoning its shirt as it once did in a myth, and tipping its head mudwards as if scoping a route, or a cloud that crossed the boundary, or a warning, a flag with its bones blown out, screaming from a height, or the summer before that, or countryside with its mouth wide open, waiting to neck the rain. The Cairngorms, January 2022. Turns out your flask is a fib. It's just January and you think newness. The snow is too keen for footprints and your toes feel like they're someone else's problem now. You are one of 3. A friend finds her most still and lets the peace take her as a boat would. The other presents the Mars bars, precious metals. It's a beauty that's nearly too big for you. You say that if the right music were playing, you could be made scared of the white sky or the mile since another walker passed. But you are happy with the massive quiet and not knowing the time. The sun inches into frame, a considerate latecomer in its socks, and you look at the trees again. Realise this isn't something you often do. See how winter sits comfy on the branches. Blues, various locations, 2022-2023. Blue gets there last, every time. It didn't even exist until someone willed it to. Wasn't even the first colour of the sea. What else don't I notice because it doesn't have a name yet? Strange to think of it as a young thing when it holds summer across its back in a partnered lift, or straightens up in velvet. The blue on the train was the most real, but the most unlikely. Such royal shades for my £10 ticket. The blue in the sky turned up like a dish to the wrong table. We worried about it being the wrong month, the seasons forgetting their cue. The blue on the grey tarmac path was there, I promise, as was the blue in the glass. Home, 2022. 2 images. The first, a picture of a laptop screen with a message in official text which reads, "It looks like your eyes are closed. Keep your head straight and in the centre of the photo. You can still submit your photo if you believe it should be accepted. For example, there's some medical reason why you can't open your eyes." The second image is a pair of open eyes. Credits and acknowledgements. Thank you to Disability Arts Online and the Edwin Morgan Trust, whose associateship funded and made space for this project. Thank you in particular to Rachel Boyd, Colin Hambrook, Pip Osmond Williams, Joanne Connolly, for all of their efforts, patience and enthusiasm. A special mention to Rachel for sharing so generously her time and her artistic knowledge. Thank you to Christina Webber and AGITATE Gallery for kindly giving this exhibition a home and being so helpful in the lead up to the launch. Thank you to Emily Nichol for giving permission to include a photo of her in the exhibition, for sharing her perspective on being a photographer, and for all of our conversations on this topic. Thank you also to Susie Lark and Aisha Jones, who spoke to me for this project for research purposes about their own photography work. Finally, thank you to the friends and family who travelled with me or stood beside me as I took these images.